Hey, it's, another little session to do some access, and just want to change the direction of this so that you guys can see a little bit better. Right. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of access again. As far as I know, this is the 10th video or tutorial just to get us through some basic uses of access. And today we're going to be focusing on how to use a wizard to create a report. Now, let me just explain to you the purpose and a function of a report. Just like we at school print reports for you guys at the end of the year with all your marks on it and your subjects. The purpose of any report is used to display and to print your data in an organized manner. So we want to see now how we're going to get your information across, and we know what's going on. Now, companies that use this quite often are also, for instance, like a bank, where they get financial reports of all their clients, all their customers, and basically have your name, your account number, and how much money is in your bank account. All right, so with that said, I'm going to play the role of a bursar at the school, and I want to see a nice printout of the people that still owe me money. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3 videos. Okay, the first one is just going to use the wizard to create the report, and then in the follow-up video I'm going to show you guys how to do some groupings in a footer, and then the last one we're going to finish with how to do some basic calculations inside of Access. So we have now seen that over the last 10 videos I've created a database. We have a table, we have some queries, and we have some forms. Now again, the purpose of this video is to create a report based on the information that's all in my table. I'm going to have the opportunity to choose again what information I want in my report, and then from there I can get a detailed summary printout of what's expected. And yes, we can go in and we can change some of the formats and the aesthetics as such, but I just want to get you into a mindset of just creating a report, and then we will go later on, we'll get into some details about changing it and making some nitty-gritty aesthetic touches to it. Right, so with that said, we're going to be on our table. Again, it can be open or it can be closed. I'm just going to do it closed, and I'm just going to select the table, and I'm going to go to the create section at the top, and I'm going to look for report, and we're going to be using the wizard. Again, I highly recommend the wizard because the wizard guides us step by step as to how to do it, especially if you're new to Access and creating these forms, queries, or reports. It's nice to have an assistant to help you through it and to understand it. So what I'm going to do is at the top there, I'm going to click on the report wizard, and again it gives me some information. Where do I want to pull my information from? Now I can pull it from a query should I want to, because ideally when I created my query I had a set amount of specific fields that I wanted to use, or what I can do is I can create a report on my table. So again, depending on what the question asks you in your exam paper, it will tell you where to pull the information from. But for the purpose of this, remember it's an introductory lesson to creating a report using Wizard. I'm going to use the table. So I select the table, and in again the table I have all those fields. Just to show you as well, if I chose a query, can you see my fields change as well? Because I'm extracting information from that source. Okay, so obviously the query of the boys will differ from the query of the girls, and that will differ to the student information. Okay, so coming back to how I want to set this up, I'm going to extract my information from the table. and I'm going to throw some fields across. Now, to give you an idea of where I want to go with this, try picture my report. Okay, I have the learners, I have contact details, and I have money outstanding. It's not necessary for me to have the age. It's not necessary to have the gender. There's no need for that. So I'm just going to be creating this report to have name, surname, a telephone number, and the fees that are outstanding. Okay, so with that said, I take the child's name across. We have to take the surname across because we can have like 30 Jessicas in the class, you know what I mean, or in the school. So Jessica A is going to be different to Jessica B. Okay. Mode of transport is not necessary. Gender, age is not necessary. Area. If my database had a postal address, that would be important, because then I could use the postal addresses to post my reports to. But we've got a cell phone number or contact number that I'll use, and the amount of money outstanding. Okay, so in my report, I've just got the name, the surname, the telephone number, and the amount outstanding. If we click next, it says here, do you want to add any grouping levels? Okay, now we can set this up in this view over here, but I actually want to show you guys in the next video how to do groupings in the footer. It's a common question that comes up in an exam paper, in a practical, and that is to group according to a certain category and to do some sort of sorting as well. So for now, I'm not going to add any grouping levels here. I'm going to come back and do that actually in the design view of the report. Just to show you what it would do is it just throws a name, so it will group all the people's names first, and then it will do what it has to do. Or I can do it according to surname. Okay, but we're going to do that in the design view. So if I go next, again, it asks you, do we want to do any sorting of records? Again, I can sort my records here, because again, I'm going to ask you potentially to the amount of money that's outstanding sorted in descending order or sorted in ascending order. I can set that up over here, but again, for the purpose of the video and to understand how to do it, I'm going to do it in the design view, and once you've seen how to do it there, you can decide whether you want to set it up front over here, or do you want to actually go and manually do it in the design view. I personally like to do it in the design view. It gives me a more hands-on approach, and I can actually see what it's looking like, because at the moment I'm just answering a few questions here, and based on what I'm answering or instructing the wizard to do, it's going to spit me out a report. So I just want to get the basic report, and then I will play around with the different sortings and groupings while in the design view. Okay, so again, I'm not doing anything over here. I want to do it in the design view. If I go next, this one is how would you like your layout of your report. I'm not going to change mine over here. Okay, but in the event of an exam or practical, it will tell you, do you want to do it as a column look, a justified look, or a tabular. It will tell you if you want your page orientation, landscape, or portrait. Now, again, I'm not going to change mine around here. If I were to do another video on how to do it, I will actually set up a questionnaire type scenario where I actually do a report based on instructions that I give. So again, for now, leave it on tabular, leave it on portrait. Again, please guys, understand that the way that I'm doing it is very basic. Okay, it's just to be able to get a wizard out there. Half of the times, and I know it sounds terrible, but a lot of times we are pressed for time during an exam, and we need to get these things done. So what I'm showing you is to get a basic report out. Okay, there's still a lot of understanding on how to do it, and there's a lot of technicalities behind it, but just to be able to get a report done using the wizard, you will be able to score at least 2-3 marks. So we can do the fancy flaws through the wizard, but for now I'm just keeping it very simplistic, okay, to allow you to still score marks in the exam. We're going to go next, and then the title of your report, again, once it gets to the end of any form of wizard, it's going to ask you what you want to save it as. And we've used student information as the table. We've used student info queries and outstanding fees. So I'm just going to say your student fees report, because it is a report that we're doing. Okay, open it in the preview mode, and if we click finished, that is my report. So at the end of the day, I don't have to submit this whole report or database to the auditors. I just give them this, and that is what they're going to be seeing. Now, please take note, when we do the wizard, it does it in a print preview for us. Okay, we can export it to Excel. We can export the file. We can do it there. That will come up later on. If you're happy with this, you can just close the preview and it will take you either to the design view, or you can see what the report actually looks like. Now, please take note, and this is what I'm going to do with you guys in the video to come. This is just giving me my field names with information. There's no fancy frills or colors here. We haven't inserted any images. There isn't a total section at the bottom, and that is where we do the calculation. So I know if I just open up the table quickly, you'll see there was the total over there. Okay, and we saw how many records there were. But if we go to the report, there's nothing over there. So I'm going to teach you how to use a calculation to get those figures into the report. Alright, so if you were able to do this, that is your basic report. I will show you in the next video where we play in the design view and we start playing in this. Look over here. Okay, I really hope that wizard helped you guys, and I will show you the next video on how to do groupings and how to change a few things in the design view. I really hope that helped, guys. Apply it, use it, and let me know what you guys think. Okay, cheers.